Hello, how's it going? My name is Brian Palma. If you don't really know me, I'm a mechanical engineering student, and I've been trying to get into the solar industry for probably like a year and like maybe 4 months right now. So yeah, uh, and yeah, so I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I did over the past couple of months. Uh, if you saw the clickbaity title, which is that learn from my mistakes and I did it again. Well, I did do it again. Uh, which is basically that I'm working with another solar company as sort of like a not really like I wouldn't say I really have a business. I'd say I'm like a contractor or like a growth partner for these companies. So it's like I basically come in, I run their paid ads, uh, build their landing pages, their lead forms, and I build the automations so that when a new lead comes in, they automatically get followed up with SMS messages, email messages, and like phone calls. And then I also book them in for an appointments. So yeah, that's the thing that I did. And if you don't know the journey that I've been going through, I just to summarize it, the first company that I worked with, I learned what I needed to get started. The second one, I learned how to run paid ads and successfully connected to like high level and like just like get the lead. Uh, you would get it to like what do you call it? A landing page or a lead form. I learned how to do that in the second company. The third company, I um, I learned because I did it how to build the automations, and after a bunch of tests, they work, which is pretty cool. They freaking work. Now, for the first time, I actually built that something works, and as of right now, I'm running their paid ads and also getting the lead in. And if it's a good lead that answers the phone, I would book them in for an appointment. If it doesn't, if they don't answer, they would just get followed up recurringly, like a bunch of times. like they're gonna get followed up like a bunch of times, like for like probably more than 9 months, just like a bunch of follow up. So yeah, I successfully was able to build that little by little, um, which is freaking cool to say the least. Because I only wanted to record the stuff that actually moves the needle forward in my life. Some of the stuff that I've been working on. Because if you really think about it, a lot of stuff in life, a lot of people's lives are like boring. So I'm just gonna put the stuff that's actually moving the needle forward instead of just boring you with like mundane details about my daily life. Uh, so yeah, that's I was able to do that. The only thing right now is that with running their paid ads, it's barely been like 5 days, so we've gotten 6 leads. The only problem with that is that whoever filled out those forms just filled out a bunch of bullshit because yeah, we couldn't call these people. I couldn't call these people because the phone numbers didn't exist. And but everything works. Like I'm tracking the data through their pixel, Facebook and Instagram advertising. I'm not gonna go exactly in detail as to how I did everything, because more so you gotta think about it and you gotta do it. It's not just about copy pasting stuff. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And then when it comes to building like I guess paid ads, I uh, I I figured out a way to teach ChatGPT my writing style. So what I did essentially, I went to ChatGPT. I gave it a role, which is that it would be like experienced copywriter. I would then essentially just give it like a bunch of ad examples from my writing style, and then I would just give it an offer that this company would be working with, and then I told it if it had any questions that I could help it out with. So to essentially build an ad, and then it asked me a bunch of questions. I answered those questions, and then I told it build me an ad with my writing style with the elements that I just gave you, and it wrote a bunch of ads. a bunch of them like that with the offer I gave it. And it gave me like 16 pieces of copy in like 2 hours, in like an hour. Before before it took me like a whole day just to write one. And this thing just spat out like 16 in one day. You have no idea how much this actually saves time. It's so freaking cool. So now I can just incorporate the ideas from ChatGPT because it already did like 80% of the work. So all I do is just get it, edit it with like the style of like a bunch of spacing and like a bunch of other stuff that doesn't sound human. And I just post the thing. But I just have to figure out how to make more creatives. And a funny thing about that too is that now I have to figure out how to create probably some video ads. I probably have to create some video ads because I know they crush on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do that. I just don't know how to do that yet. But the backend processes, they surprisingly work. They freaking work. It's just a matter of like, if I can get just one lead that I can actually call and they're a legitimate person and they do want the offer, and if I can just call them and just convince them to book an appointment, I can without a doubt say that this fucking shit works. And if it fucking works, I can start charging money for this. Cause fuck, man, it's been like fuck. It's been like a while since like, because I'm not really making money with this. I just wanted to work with these companies to get the skill of how to pitch to business owners, how to create advertisements, how to track data, how to build automations for this, how to fucking create the scripts for email, SMS, and like phone call scripts. And I'm so happy that it fucking works. It works. So now I just need to get one lead that wants the offer that we're actually advertising for. And if I get one and if I book it, like I said, I can make money with this. And I think it's going to feel really fucking cool to earn my first $500 to $1,000 online, which is crazy. So it's like, which is pretty fucking cool. If you don't know some of the stuff that what I'm doing is, just to give you an overall overview, in solar, dealer companies, I'm just going to call them dealer companies because just like when you buy a car, which is called a dealership, it's the same thing when you buy solar panels. But here in solar, since door-to-door sales is still a thing, it's still an ongoing thing because it's a new innovation. So when you basically sell solar, you got to knock on people's doors and then get them to schedule an appointment. And then a closer or you would come in the house and just give them a presentation, give them the overall understanding as to how solar works, their current situation, run the numbers. If they actually want to check if they can qualify, you run their credit. And once you run their credit, if they have any objections, you would handle those. And once you handle those, you get them to sign the documents, and now they have solar on their roof, and you get paid commission for that. Here, it's basically kind of the same thing, but instead of knocking doors in person, you're basically just knocking online. And in this way, it's like paid advertising, or just finding like a bunch of online data on like to call these people, which I haven't really understood how people get data like from like homeowners. I don't know how they do that, but like I know it's from paid advertising what I'm trying to build. So I basically wrote an ad. People click on it. They fill out their details because they're interested into what they can get with this offer that we're advertising for. From there, they would get followed up recurringly through automations, email, phone numbers, and just like calling them. And just once we get them over the phone, we schedule them for an appointments. And then the process would be to get the closer to close the deal. And I would get, depending if you're working on like a retainer, I guess you would charge what you're charging for, which let's one example like $1,000. You would charge like $1,000. They would pay for the ad spend, maybe $1,000 to $2,000, and then whatever sale is made. Well, it depends however you want to charge it, but if you just want to charge the retainer, you charge $1,000. You run their ads, you generate leads, and leads are just basically people you can contact. You generate leads, set the appointments, and then they deal with the sales process. That's their thing. They got to handle that stuff, and that's basically it's what I've been trying to build. I'm glad to say that the backend works. It's just how good of an advertiser I am. It's depending on my skill now. So I need to get better at this thing little by little. But like I said, if I can get like a single lead to actually work, I know I can charge for this. But yeah, that's so overall, this is how solar companies like operate, to my understanding, what I've seen. This is how they actually work it out. There's a bunch of solar companies that still do door-to-door sales because it's never going to stop. Like door-to-door sales are always going to be an ongoing thing. It's just that solar right now is like, I think only 8% of the US has changed to solar. So they got a long way to go. But essentially that's what I've been trying to do for the past, maybe since November, I think. Maybe take off like maybe March, maybe like half of April. So maybe like, I don't know, what is it, like November, December, January, April, maybe 4 months actually, since I actually started working with companies. So about 4 months. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. And yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. If you have any question in regards to solar, how the industry works, how paid ads work, I don't know, anything of the questions that you would, anything of the stuff that I've been doing. And if you have some type of question, I guess I'll answer it in the comments. And that's basically it. I just wanted to talk about what I did. Hopefully what I did sort of gives you an idea as to how to do some of the stuff that I've been doing. And just on a final note, I think one of the funny things about what I've been doing is that I actually met this company in university. They were looking for door-to-door salespeople, and I basically told them what I was doing beforehand, and they liked the idea. So we started talking, and then I basically presented to them what I was going to do. And if it made sense for them, we'd start working. And it did. So I started working with them, and they had a like sort of like, I can't talk specifics because it's like their stuff, but I built everything like on the back end that could be working. So they had like a sort of mess because what happened was that High Level had like, High Level is the software we're using, but they essentially had like a mess behind the scenes where like their automations were not working because of an update issue. That they had something that worked in the past, but since there was an update, those things that they were using were not going to be compatible anymore. So I had to essentially build everything that they already had, sort of from scratch, because I already had an idea of how to do it. And I did. And I built it. It works. And since I built it, I also translated everything that I did into Spanish so that I could actually handle both Spanish leads and English leads. And with that, well, I just got to run Spanish advertisements and English advertisements, and now they have a pipeline for each one. A pipeline is basically how you handle how a customer gets into the company. So if a customer comes in, you would move it along a pipeline. So you would move it upon stages on the pipeline, and that's basically it. I can't really hire people to like handle the calls or set the appointments because I have to do it myself first. Probably in the future, I would probably have to, like, once I start getting some cash flow coming in, I would probably have to like put them into like setters to handle the appointments, and then from there probably like try to like get some media buyers, because I know the media buyers like are pretty expensive. So I would have to be making a bit of money per month before I can get a media buyer. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been working on. It's not necessarily like a business per se. It's like contracting work. But I know that if I figure it out, I can make a bunch of money. But yeah, if you have any questions, just pop it in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching.